Hey, what's up, you money makers? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be talking about ticker symbol PLTR, Palantir Technologies Inc. I have been covering the stocks for last few weeks, and before that I covered this stock in November, and since then the stock had a pretty good momentum. It almost doubled up, and I want to say that there is a great opportunity still to buy into this stock, and it can double up, and it's relatively very safe stock. The company has a pretty good momentum. The company has a steady sort of revenue, and they have contracts with the government agencies, including the defense agencies and whatnot. So I'll talk about relatively three things in this particular video. We'll look into some of the great news and one of the great bullish article and analysis from an analyst that I want to share with you. We'll also look into key levels of the price point and when you can consider this is in bullish price point or bullish trend at the moment, or whether the stock is in the bearish trend, and when it was in bearish trend, how the stock reacted, and what's the future looks like for Palantir. So we'll do all the kind of analysis in this video. I'm not a financial advisor. I do a lot of research. Palantir Technologies is one of the unique stock, and ARK Invest is super bullish. They have been acquiring this stock, and this stock was also discussed heavily on CNBC in one of the interview that the CEO gave out, and Jim Cramer talked a lot about this stock as well. Kathy Wood is very interested in Palantir Technologies and in their future. So let's talk about that further. Now, in one day, as you can see, the stock started getting some momentum. It is up more than 3%. It was up around 3.5% when the stock was around at $25.35 earlier this morning in this trading session. For 5 days, the stock is up 1%. For 1 month, the stock is pretty much even out. And for 6 months, the stock is up 150%, close to 150%. This is relatively a new company. The company was founded in 2003, as you can see right here, and it's a software company. It's a data analytics company, deals with big data and shares a lot of insights from the raw data that big corporations and huge companies have. Many times what happens is this company, Palantir Technologies, and this is their site, they have three big products and software systems that they support their clients with, and many times what they do is institutions have data that they need to make best decisions, but their executives do not really know how to read this data in critical times to solve complex problems. The data is fragmented and locked in silos. People on the front lines who makes the most important decisions and deals with the big problems, they don't often have the information that they need when they need them the most. At Palantir, they build the software that lets the organization integrate the data, their decisions, and their operations into one platform. Their software empowers entire organization to answer complex questions quickly by bringing the right data when the people need the data the most, and that reflects into their revenue as well. If you take a look, the revenue was stellar revenue of $322 million in Q4 2020, and it was quite a bump from $289 million in Q3. In Q2, the revenue was $251 million, and in Q1, $240 million. So look at it, the way they are growing: 240, 251, 289, and they're $322 million. Not only that, they also have locked in $89.9 million contract earlier this month, and this is a massive deal. So the company announced on April 6th that they have the contract is from National Nuclear Security Administration, NNSA, for 5 years, and the share has spiked up at that point as well, a couple of percent. Now, once again, this is not going to double in no time, because this is not a penny stock. This is a massive company. They have a pretty strong business model. They are going to, one of the big catalysts, or one of the big or small catalyst, is it could potentially be a big catalyst in terms of the price point, because we are not looking at the double price overnight, because this is a very stable stock. But Palantir issues additional detail about the industrial capabilities that will be shown a demo in the double click event on April 4th. So it is coming up in the next few days. That can potentially impact the price point if they have something massive to share, big functionalities that they can also reveal. That is all going to impact. Also, company may share some of the additional guidance and information about where the company is heading in terms of the revenue. They have huge corporate clients with multi-million-dollar contracts year over year, and their contracts are with agencies that are stable agencies from the government. Now, let's take a look at this particular article and what this article practically talks about. Basically, I'm not able, so probably here. So basically, this is the article that I want to talk about. Palantir, ARK Invest is buying. This particular analyst, this analyst is buying. New contracts have VET Inc. and 2 new sectors could be on the horizon for Palantir. Palantir Industries continues to expand in the relationship with US government as several new contracts have been signed under the Biden administration. The Palantir Technologies also has invested in all this, which could be the future of aviation and robotics. Doors may be opening up for Palantir to create software infrastructure in these 2 new industries. ARK Invest and Cathie Wood continue to add aggressively into their position in Palantir, and this particular investment analyst is also buying this heavily. Since their article that they published, the stock has decreased by 5.61% with the S&P total return of 6.21%. The way I look into this is, if the stock had done not so good, there is a lot more potential that the stock can do a lot better, and the company has increasingly good relationships and partnerships with US government under the Biden administration. Now, ARK Invest and today's hottest fund manager Cathie Wood believes in the stock very much. Now, look into the chart and what they are talking about in general. That what they said is this 89.9 million contract for 5 years is going to show up into their next financial report, which is for Q2 2021, and their balance sheet looks pretty massive good. Now, in that case, the company is going to boost their projections in 2021 and beyond. In 2020, Palantir's revenue from government contract increased by 77%. This is pretty massive, in my opinion, having 77% revenue to 346 million to 610 million. So we're not talking about a couple of millions. We're bumping that couple of millions up to 3 or 4.5 million dollars. We're talking about 346 million. So massive revenue, and then 77% increase, and that is to 610 million dollar in revenue. And this is going to be very much focused on the diversification of the contract that is in the mix. Government contracts, that is incredibly important, and that is going to be a very stable source of revenue for Palantir. Now, all this government sector and non-sector is going to impact this Palantir Technologies. ARK Invest and Cathie Wood continues to have their continues adding share into their portfolio, ARK Invest portfolio, aggressively, and everyone across the board has been talking about this a lot. So let's take a look at what Palantir Technologies make up to. As you can see, it is part of this revenue, and I wanted to really quickly share how much shares that they have, if I can find out right here, but I'm not able to see that right here, and right here. So I wanted to say that Palantir is top 25 on the list. So top 25 having more than $324,000 in terms of the market value that the Palantir Technologies has, where Cathie Wood and team has in this particular investment, ARK Invest, they have close to 14 to 15 million dollars worth of investment. So this is massive, that what the company is up to and how they have been investing, and I wanted to share this information with you, hoping it'll help you out as well. And looking at it, sorry, this is Castor Maritime. I'm not going to edit this video, so I apologize in advance. But one of the things that I want to also take a look into, the bullish move, the way the analyst has been saying, is the 50-day moving average. If the stock goes about $26.80 from this price point, there will be a bullish standpoint for Palantir Technologies. So we are not too far from that standpoint. We are at $24.11. The bullish price point can start after $26.80 in a short-term trade. If it crosses that, then there will be a 50-day moving average, and the stock can go to $32 to $33. And we have seen that in the past as well. Now, looking at the volume looks healthy. In my personal opinion, they never had huge volume. So somewhere between 30 to 60 million volume in the trading sessions seems pretty healthy for Palantir Technologies. Looking at this chart once again, that they had a pretty big high of $39, got back down to $31, got back once again up to $38, and right now we had seen that the support levels that they have is $22. So let's take a look. So after $22, it did not really go below much after $22, as you can see right here. Once again, $22.52, and stock spiked up or went up, not spiked up. And then there's once again right here, they have the support around $22, and once it reaches $22, it goes up and it does not go below $22. So $22 in my opinion, or $21.80 in my opinion, is a pretty good price point. 22, it could be a pretty good price point, and that's something that we need to consider. And looking at this, the stock had a pretty good momentum. RSI is 49, which is a pretty good RSI, not overbought, not oversold. MACD is about the orange line, which also suggests that the stock can go higher in the short term. Looking at the 5-day chart, very similar. They're making higher and higher lows, which is pretty bullish trend. As you can see, there is a low, then it goes, there's another low right here, which is a higher low, going back to this price point. Once again, higher low, higher low, higher low. So there is a good possibility that the stock can hit $32 to $33 once again in a short period of time. I hope this video helps you making informed financial decision. I'm not a financial advisor, but wanted to share information with you as much as I could find. Thanks all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Your help is very much appreciated. Thanks all.